In Oklahoma City, the position of mayor has been one of great stature. We have been fortunate in that city to have been led by men and women who have been admired and have been able to create great positive change in our city.
A new national role for the leader of our city, Mayor Mick Cornett, now the president of the Conference of Mayors. How will he work to bring attention to Oklahoma, and what can other cities learn from us? Joining us now, Mayor Mick Cornett. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. I haven't actually seen that speech. It was the first time I'd seen it.
It was very good.
Well, thank you. I was just seeing if my tie was straight.
Yeah, it looked.
Sometimes it's the small optic things.
It looked pretty good. So we'll get back to the Conference of Mayors in just a moment. What a big honor that is for you and for our city, really. But first, let's get to Dallas. What were your initial thoughts after the shootings that occurred there in Dallas, and were you worried that something could happen like that here at home?
Well, I was immediately, my heart went out to those so affected. Mike Rawlings, the mayor of Dallas, and I are fairly close. His brother went to high school here in Oklahoma City with me, and so a lot of us are close to that family in that situation, and you just can't help but know how impacted they are at city government. To lose 5 of your officers who you feel an obligation to protect. While they're protecting their citizens, it's part of your job as a municipal leader to protect those officers, and to think, where did we go wrong? Where did our training go wrong? Where did they have the equipment they needed? Did we have the resources available? And as it turns out, it appears to be one lone person, which is tough to defend against. But it took, what could have and should have been a very, a peaceful event, and turned it into, one of the largest tragedies we're going to face this year. And so I'll be going down to Dallas tonight and appearing at a ceremony tomorrow as municipal leaders kind of come around to support the Dallas Police Department and to try and, come to grips with, the issues that we're facing right now with violence and trying to, look at our police procedures and see where we're, potentially going wrong in some of that behavior.
So when you go to Dallas tonight, what will be your message? And have you talked about your connection with Mayor Rawlings. Have you spoken to him at all? And what will be your message this evening?
We have spoken, and he is wanting to make tomorrow's event with the president larger than just Dallas itself. Okay. We want to continue this conversation. You can't establish relationships when you're inside of a tragedy. Those relationships need to be established beforehand. And so, I think that's what we're all hopeful for. And of course, we had a nice event in Oklahoma City last night where Black Lives Matters, organizers were able to hold an event, and from what I've been able to see, that event went peaceful and drew attention in all the positive ways that we hoped it would.
How can there be building of confidence between Black Lives Matter protesters, the Black community writ large, and police here in Oklahoma City? You mentioned that you were trying to come up with procedures and put things in place so that there would be that added confidence next time moving forward.
Well, we have a lot of training that goes into being Oklahoma City Police Department, and that's one reason it takes us so long to ramp up our department. As you know, the council and I have increased the number of positions in the Oklahoma City Police Department. But because the training is so intense and lengthy, it takes a while to get up to that number. And there's been a lot of people have suggested you need to lower the standards or shorten the training and to get those numbers up faster. And I think these events are reminders of that's exactly what we should not do. We have to make sure that when you're an Oklahoma City Police Department that you understand the standards that are set and expected. And just it takes one incident or one police officer to act incorrectly to establish a precedent and a reputation. And so our department is making sure that we do everything we can. We're also trying to recruit minorities to join the force. It's a wonderful career, and we're constantly doing outreach, trying to get Hispanic, Spanish-speaking officers to join. We're constantly reaching out in the African American community, trying to raise awareness on the need and that we're hiring, and so all of those efforts are paying off as well, and we do it in the fire department too. But I think right now people are most concentrating on the police department.
You've been in this community for a long time, started here at Channel 5 and then been in public office for quite some time. When you take the temperature of citizens, would you say that the tensions right now, the division in the country is the worst that it's been in decades? What's your diagnosis of the situation right now?
I think what's happened is, over the last couple of years, the explosion of cell phone video has allowed people to see exactly what's going on. And as a journalist, the two of you know, you have to kind of let the process play out. You have to, there's probably more than one side to a story, despite what you see in video. Nonetheless, when you see videos like we've seen here in the last week, you throw your hands up and say, how is this going to be justified? How are we going to come to grips, with the police work that we're seeing? And even as we, await further details in the investigation, you're acknowledging that the people that are upset about it have a right to be upset. And so, it does seem to be, kind of slowly building, in the wake of what happened in Ferguson and some other cities, and now, in Minneapolis and Baton Rouge and Dallas. And so there's a higher level of consciousness, and we're also in a political election season, and so there's a lot of attention on the national leaders trying to to get them to set some sort of policy in place, or perhaps funding that can increase the police training in cities that don't necessarily have the resources that a city the size of Oklahoma City or Dallas would have.
And you're a city leader now on the national stage, now the president of the Conference of Mayors. That's a huge honor for you, as we mentioned, and for the city. What can we learn from other cities, and what can other cities learn from Oklahoma City that you're going to bring to that conference?
Well, Oklahoma City has become kind of a national standard for in kind of rebuilding its city. I don't think any city has come as far as fast as we have. You look at the economic development and the job creation, the investments that we've made in the core of the city, trying to create a marketplace that can compete with the perimeter development that's already taken place, the attraction to the millennial generation. I'll have to tell the two of you that. Thousands of millennials now gravitating toward Oklahoma City. And when you look back, one generation, my generation pretty much left. I mean, when my generation was your age, they were largely going to other places. They, Dallas and Houston and Tokyo and New York and a lot of interesting places. And now there's this sense that young people that grow up in Oklahoma City, there's a good chance they're going to want to stay.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And we obviously can see that a lot of their friends are moving here too. And so, how do you keep that going? And every mayor out there is trying to recruit millennials. That seems to be kind of the secret to this technology-driven revolution and the digital revolution that's going forward if you want to drive your economy. And right now we're considered a success story. And so, people are interested in that, and it gives me a chance to talk about our predecessors and how the citizens have invested in themselves. We haven't necessarily looked at the federal government to come bail us out or to try and save us from ourselves. And I think people like that proactive steps that we've taken.
Are you concerned at all, and you're a former sports guy, I started out in sports, are you concerned at all that Kevin Durant, the Durexit, as everyone called it, our main mega superstar, leaving Oklahoma City is going to hurt Oklahoma City economically, and then him not wanting to stay here and go to a bigger city? Are you afraid that's going to hurt the morale of the city or anything economically?
Well, I think short term it already has. I mean,
Sure.
I think there's a little bit of a depression, from July 4th that, that
We felt
it
it.
seemed like the longest week of the year. It's
No
like
kidding.
it's only been 2 days. It seems like it's been 2 weeks since this has occurred. One of the biggest issues though about trying to turn that around or change the tide is there weren't any games to play. When you're in July, you can't go out and win a game and get everybody focused
over
on
it.
something
Yeah.
else. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see what the front office does. Is the roster that exists today, is that going to be the roster on opening day? Probably not. I got a feeling they're going to try and plug some holes. Sam Presti has always said he doesn't want to be one of those franchises that chases a championship for a couple of years and then tries to get rid of
Fizzles
everybody
out.
and get lottery picks and try to rebuild. He says he wants to compete every year, like San Antonio and a handful of other franchises. So if that's true, then I suspect they're going to be making some roster moves, and with assuming Russell Westbrook's still on the roster, try to see how far they can go in the championship race this year.